Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So it's been a while and what's been happening since I've been gone, there's a lot that's been happening in the UK and there's a lot of buzz and excitement, in my opinion, going on. Some people are probably going to disagree with me because they are cynical or they really can't stand this party. But just for those of you that are American or from somewhere else and you're not English, we are coming up to our general election, and normally we just flip-flop between these two main parties, and only they really get any kind of representation in Parliament, and we just flip between Labour and Conservative, Labour, Conservative, and it's pretty much the exact same party with a different name, essentially. I mean, some people are going to say they're different, but they're all pretty much controlled and have the same strings pulled. And then suddenly this year we've got these late coming party Reform, or at least the leader who was well known before and was the guy that pushed through Brexit, Nigel Farage. He's come to front Reform. And Reform are... It's interesting watching this journey. So I don't hero worship anybody. I don't think anybody's perfect. I don't think anybody's here to save us. I have no idea. They certainly seem quite exciting. You know, the leader spoke out against lockdowns. He's got some interesting policies, and I just like the energy that's coming out and the energy that this party is inspiring in people. You can feel it. There's an energy. And what's really interesting is we are set supposedly to have a massive Labour majority, right? So we've had Conservatives in, Tories, Conservatives in for 15 years, and now it's going to swing back the other way, and supposedly we're going to get this unheard of majority to Labour. And what's really caused that is people have got so fed up of one side that they're like, well, there's no real excitement that I can see around Labour actually getting in. I've not really seen anyone excited about the leader. I've not seen anyone excited about the party. They are literally just, I hate this other party so much, and they've lied so many times and they've broken so many promises that let's just go the other way, just because what else can we do? Because we've got this very uni-party system in the UK where outsider parties very rarely, well, they don't get a look in, they've never really gotten a look in, and we just keep flip-flopping between these two main parties. And we're kind of held in a trap as citizens, because we're essentially always told that if we vote for a smaller party, we're basically wasting a vote and someone we really don't want to get in will be in power. So this has kept people from actually voting for who they want, or smaller parties that they might really agree with, for pretty much my entire lifetime anyway, because everybody has just thought of it as a wasted vote, so they haven't bothered voting for, and they've just voted for the lesser of the two evils out of our two main parties. And what I find so exciting about what's going on at the moment in the UK is this Outlier party is just they're just rising and rising and rising. And whether you agree with their policies actually or not, I mean, I agree with some of there's some policies I really like of theirs. Obviously, I'm just not somebody, I've never really had a particular party that I've always aligned with. In fact, actually, I've never voted because I've not really liked any of them. And, you know, there'll always be things that I don't like, but so I'm not really aligned to any particular party. I just want to put that out there. But there are definitely some reform policies that I do like. And it's not just the immigration one that everyone keeps going on about, but I actually really like some of their other policies, like the 20k tax threshold. I like their push to not make it, because at the moment we have a system where being on benefits is actually more beneficial to some people than working in low wage jobs. They actually wouldn't even earn any more money going to work. So I would like someone to fix that, because I don't think it's right. And I also like the fact that the leader of that party has heavily spoken out against lockdown, saying that they weren't necessary and we shouldn't have locked down, certainly as many times as we did. I don't know. I know I'm going to get some people in my comments that are like, oh, he's just part of the system as well, and you know, everyone's a part of it and they wouldn't get to where they were if they weren't. I know I'm going to get some of those comments, and I don't know, you might be right. I also don't look at any leader as some kind of saviour of society. I believe we're the saviours of society. But what I like about the Reform Party is I am feeling this kind of hope in people in the UK that I've never felt before. And I'm sure probably some people in America felt this as well, because it's this whole make this country great again. And it doesn't really matter whether you think the policies of this person are any good or they're lousy, but they've inspired some kind of feeling in people that people actually want to make this country great again. So although I don't see anyone as any kind of savior, I do think something this party has done is they've managed to push at some buttons and put something out there that has excited and motivated the British people enough that they actually can start to hope and see a better future. And that's actually really important, because what I noticed before that was everybody was in some kind of malaise, like, oh, we just keep getting the same old thing. It's the same old party time after again, with sometimes they're red, sometimes they're blue, but life doesn't really change that much. There's nothing we can do. There's no way we can change this. It's never going to be any small insurgent party that does anything. We might as well just put our vote. We don't want to waste our vote. We might as well just give our vote to the person we hate the least. This is voting in the UK, right? It's voting for the person you hate the least in most cases. It's very rare you see people actually super excited about casting a vote. The last time I can remember in my lifetime seeing people excited was actually a Labour government. This is why I can see that this Labour government doesn't really have excitement around it. It's literally just people are so sick of one that they're like, well, I hate this one a bit less. That's what I'm seeing on the ground, because I do remember Tony Blair getting in, and whether you like Tony Blair or not, there was a certain energy around him, and there was a certain energy around Labour at that time that was undeniable. The thing is, when people come together en masse, there's a certain energy that's created that's undeniable. And that's what I'm feeling right now. There's just an energy in the air of, hey, maybe we can vote for a smaller party. Maybe we can make a change. Maybe there is some hope. Maybe we can actually change things, even if these things are fantasy, or we disagree with some of the policies, or we really hate some of the policies. There's this feeling that we can do something. And it's just undeniable energy in the air right now. Whatever the result, that something has been stirred up in the people of the UK, that they really have hope for something better, hope for a better Britain, like a little bit of patriotism. And I'm not really a massive patriot myself. I'm not somebody that goes around screaming around the UK. Trust me, I can say all the things wrong with this country as well. But, you know, it is nice to have a little bit of pride about where you live and where you come from, in a healthy manner that's not, you know, extremism in any way is never healthy. But it is nice to kind of believe in where you live, and it's nice to want it to be better, and it's nice to be proud or not proud of its history, but to be aware of its history. And yeah, there's just something in the air that is inspiring hope and change right now, and it's all due to this party. So it's no kind of savior, but this party is there, and it's shifted the energy, as far as I'm concerned, in the British people, and I'm here for it. I like it. And it's interesting to watch the political system. So we have things in place called first past the post. I wasn't really that interested in politics before, because honestly, I was just like everybody else out there, or a lot of people, where we're in some kind of malaise where we've just given up on politics. We know that everybody just lies. We know that it's just the same old. And maybe this party Reform, they're the same old too. Maybe they're just lying as well. But you know what? Because we haven't experienced them yet, there's some hope. And hope is a great energy, right? Hope is so much better than malaise. So whatever happens, and whatever this party actually is, I'm really happy with the energy that is brought out in people. And yeah, we really starting to see how blocked it is. So we have this first past the post voting system, which makes it very, very, very difficult for small parties to have any kind of real look in on the political scene. And, you know, before we've never really noticed it until now, when we're seeing a party that's going to potentially get millions and millions of votes and a massive backing from the British citizens of the UK. And they might get hardly any seats. So that's a possibility. And then that's going to bring up this whole thing of, is it fair the way we vote? And there's also the party is not getting much airtime, so they have debates. And bear in mind, this party is currently on the polls ranking second with the number of votes. So it's the second most popular party in this country right now, and it's not even getting on live TV debates. So people are starting to see how it's blocked and how politics is blocked in favor of keeping this two parties constantly swinging in and out. And I think it's going to kick something up. I really do. I think if millions of people vote for a party that then get 2 seats of representation in Parliament, then I think this is going to kick something up in people, and people are going to start questioning things more. And that's what I feel. I feel it's pushing people to get out of that just malaise, letting everything go on, just, oh yeah, we've got no say, this just happens, it's always these two parties, which one do I hate the least? And people, for the first time, and even if you don't like reform, this opens the door for other small parties that you really do believe in to, and I think this is the first election where I think, because there's such a landslide predicted in the polls, which I'm not sure is going to happen. I don't feel that intuitively, but we'll see, because everybody really thinks that's going to happen, and I'm happy to be wrong. Not happy to be wrong, but I'm willing to be wrong. I just don't feel that the result that they're telling us is what's going to happen. I just don't feel it. But because the vote seems so sure in the polls one way, it's actually giving people freedom, I believe, to say, well, they're going to win anyway, so why don't I vote for who I actually want to win? And to be honest with you, it doesn't matter who you vote for. If you like Greens or Lib Dems, I actually like the fact that people are actually just voting for who they want now. I mean, that's all I care about, is to force other people. Actually, even though I really, really don't want Labour to win, I honestly believe it's the heaviest of the WEF parties, and I really think it could be the opening to 15-minute cities and all kinds of things that we don't want. If they win a vote and the most people in this country still want them in, I'm going to just accept that. I'm not going to go and fight with people for the next 4 years and cry about it. I'm just going to accept that as part of what's supposed to happen, and I'm just going to roll with it, right? Everybody is entitled to a free vote. We've fought really hard for this system through the years, so let's not chastise people for whoever the hell they want to vote for, even if we think they're some kind of douche word. And what lessons can we personally take away from all of this? And I think there's a few things that we can take away. We can see how one person, because that party was polling on something like 5% until that guy stepped in, and it's been 2 weeks. And that is how much sort of a passionate voice. And the reason he stands out is because he's the only one that's actually passionate. All the other MPs and people running for Prime Minister, they're just flat. They are just so flat. They feel like they're reading off a board, and they don't really actually even believe in what they're saying. Just someone told them to say it before they went on stage, and they're just reading off teleprompts. Whether they are or not, that's how it feels. And then here comes along someone that speaks without prompts. He speaks the things he believes in. He's confident. He's not cool or hip. The guy's in his 60s. And it just goes to show that when you speak in that way, you can really change a lot of minds. You can change a lot of people. So if you don't like his message, you can still learn from him as to how to present yourself in public, how to get behind something and encourage other people to come behind it too. Because if he can get all those people to come behind him, then anyone can do that. Anybody with the right energy, with the right feeling, with the right passion, with the right motivation, you can get a lot of people on board with what you're doing. So there's one big lesson from it all. And I do honestly think what we're supposed to take from this as well is not to be conned and propagandized into, if you don't vote for these two parties we've got lined up, it's a wasted vote. I would love to see more people in this country vote for who they actually want to vote for. I don't care who that is, whether it's Greens, raving loony party, but that actually opens the door to people in the future to come and step up that are just really, really high vibrational people, because at the moment they're completely blocked out. I don't know how blocked out. I don't know how impossible it is to get a foot in. I imagine it's very hard. But if enough people are around you, then who knows, you know? I'm always a cup half I'm always a cup half full, and I don't want to believe that it's impossible. I want to believe that yes, it's difficult, but I want to believe that we overall have the power and we can make change, and change can happen in a positive, forwards moving way. Otherwise, what's the point? You know, what's the point? Anyway, I hope everyone is well, and I'll speak soon. Bye bye.